All right, YouTube, this Detroit's HPTV coming at you with another recap on the Fani Willis case. I showed y'all earlier today where Nathan Wade testified and her friend testified. I knew she was going to testify tonight, so I knew I was going to have to make another video. You know what I mean? Because you got to see Fani. You know Fani was going to be arrogant. Fani was going to be braggadocious. Fani was going to be in there playing the race car. Fani was going to be there talking about, we as black women, and you can't say nothing. Fani was going to go in there like that. But over a period of her being interrogated, Fani broke down and her hair got nappy and she went all the way back. In a minute, she was finna start tap dancing. But, oh, this my issue with Fani. For real. Do you know how many men and people have lost their lives in the Fulton County Jail? It's crazy. The jail where she's the DA over, the Fulton County Jail, the prisoners make videos of themselves assaulting other prisoners for YouTube. Yeah. In Fulton County. Google it and look up Fulton County that she's the DA of. She caught up in all this mess, and look how many people have lost their lives in the jail, not the prison, in the absolute jail. So I'm no big fan of Fani. Now, Fani also wants you to believe, and when you watch how she's being questioned, and she go from being braggadocious to to getting goofy. The lady gonna ask Fani, "Have you ever been to Florida? Have you ever been to Florida with Nathan Wade?" She like, I can't recall if I've ever been to Florida. She said, so you've never been to Florida? She said, I can't recall if I've ever been to Florida. Oh, I remember one time we went to took a cruise and we went to Miami. Is that what you're talking about? Miami is in Florida, lady. Miami is in Florida. How are you the DA? For real. How are you the DA? So I'm finna play this video. It's for under Fair Usage Act for commentary, educational purposes, under 1976 Copyright Act. You know, this is a district attorney. Let's watch her being questioned and watch her attitude and take off her stilo. Let's watch Fani. Let me turn it on. I want you to get all the Fani. Get you all the Fani you want.
I would, and I do apologize. Anna, do me a favor. I don't want to make so many glasses. After you stood up, I don't want to make some. Explain, you can go ahead and explain it because I don't want it to go. Yes, Chelsea. District Attorney Fani, Fani. Last name is Willis. Ms. Willis, when?
First of all, check her attitude and how her attitude is. And if her name is spelled Fany, there's no way that's Fani. Anyone with the basic command of the language, there's no way you can get Fani out of Fani. That's Fani. Fani. Watch how many personalities she got. So she might be Fani right now.
You never come in the courtroom like that. Because there were people I was facing in my office. Okay. And I heard someone yell, his testimony is done. It only made sense to me that I would be, and I've been very anxious to have this conversation with you today. So I ran to the courtroom. So as soon as you heard that Mr. Wade was done testifying, that's when
Oh, you ran to the courtroom, but you've been trying to squash all them subpoenas.
Did you listen to any of it? I've been in my office pacing, man. Did you listen to any arguments? I did hear the arguments this morning. It's ridiculous to me that you lied on Monday, and yet here we still are. And I did listen to that argument. All right, so that was it, just the argument, no testimony. Right, I listened to the argument this morning where Adam Abadi, I thought, did an excellent job pointing out how dishonest you were with the court on Monday. And I'm actually surprised that the hearing continued. And since it did, here I am. Great. first, let's just talk about what you did in preparation for today. Did you meet with Mr. Wade at all? Once the motion was filed, did you meet with Mr. Wade and talk to him about the motion that I filed to disqualify you? On this first January motion? Yes. I don't know if you could say talked about. I probably had some choice words about some of the things that you said that were dishonest within this motion. So I don't know that it was a conversation.
Okay, now this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna cut in for a minute. I want y'all to see how macho she is right now. Like she cocky, she finna build up. Watch under all that questioning, it's gonna break down. She gonna look like she getting whooped like a slave. Watch.
You know, Mr. Wade is a southern gentleman. Me, not so much. Okay, but my question was, did you have a conversation? I didn't have a substantive conversation. You did not. I read this motion, skimmed it more or less, so, and I've probably said some choice things to him about some of the lies that were told. Okay. And then put it in the media because, you know, it used to be in a day and time where you had 60 minutes and people did stories and they verified information, and you had this great reporting. But it seems today that a lawyer writes a lie and then it's printed for all of the world to see. Well, I just want to make sure that you answer the question I asked them. So my question was... I'm going to object after that. I told you what happened.
Fanny, Fanny, you got a lot of kahunas. You lied about sleeping with that woman's husband. You went into the church and lied. You cheated, allegedly. No, you already said you did that. And you up in there. Your attitude is the reason you where you are right now, Fanny. And I got to report on it because you're trending.
I read the motion. I am sure I told him what my opinion of it is. And past that, we had no substantive conversation. You did not. Is it something you didn't understand? No, I just wanted to make sure that you did not have a meeting with him in the conference room to discuss the motion. So in the conference room of my office within this week, you produced some financial document. That financial document was given to me. Something that I'm not even sure was given it to him by me, or Mr. Abadi gave it to me. And I think he showed me a document in our conference room. But as far as a substantive conversation, I don't believe I've had any conversation with him that is substantive related to this. I have had conversations with him since you filed the motion, but they wouldn't be substantive to this. He sent me very nice sermons that have been done. And so we've had conversations about, did you listen to that sermon? You know, things of that nature. And I would say they were in relationship to this because I think he did it to be kind. Okay. Let's start back in 2019. So you and Mr. Wade met in October 2019 at a conference? That is correct. I think in one of your motions you tried to implicate I slept with him at that conference, which I find to be extremely offensive. I stayed at that conference.
No, your girlfriend testified earlier today before you got on here that you met him and you started a relation with him at that conference. You see how this trial is going? If y'all watched earlier today, before she can understand, her girlfriend already mentioned the conference. That's why this lady is bringing the conference up. So her girlfriend, who was her friend, already said, "Oh, they've been messing around because they went to the conference together." So now she acting like she. Watch how Fanny be acting like Fanny don't know nothing. I don't know how she be acting. She can't remember shit.
Mr. Wade was my teacher. I did not meet him when he taught the class. I was standing outside talking
How
to
is he your teacher and you never met him?
Me and her were just having a conversation. Mr. Wade walks up and they hug each other. They have some brief conversation. She introduces us.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. We kind of thought that when you asked the question, you had asked the question, not a speech, so I object to the speech.
I agree not able to explain my answers.
I believe she's able to explain her answers.
That's
Ms. Merchant, that's okay. I continue with Ms. Willis. I'll ask you to just listen to the answer, or excuse me, the question, and keep the answers confined to the question as best you can. I think you'll have more than enough capable opportunity on when mistake.
So it's highly offensive when someone lies on you, and it's highly offensive when they try to implicate that you slept with somebody the first day you met with them, and I take exception to it.
Well, in this world, you have the opportunity to explain all that, and it's the same.
Y'all can already see she talking too much and she opening up too many doors. Ain't nobody said she slept with the man at the conference. She taking it there. She saying somebody insinuated said I took it there. They saying ain't nobody in this room today said that you did that. We said were you at the conference? Did you meet him at the conference? Who said you slept with him at the conference? Who said anything about y'all sleeping together at this point? You're getting ahead of yourself. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. And she's the attorney. You have to remain silent. You're gonna be telling yourself.
Thank you, Judge. So again, my question was, you all met at that conference, though, right? We did. Okay. As I stated, he taught the class. I did not actually meet him when he taught the class. I walked out of the class, and I'm not sure if it was that exact class or we had went to lunch, but we were standing.
My grandma used to always say, when somebody be talking and their voice get to crackling, they lying. My grandma used to always say that. And I had an uncle. He got in trouble one time, and he had to be in court and testify. And he got to talking, and when he got to lying, his voice got to crackling. And I started noticing that in people when they lying under pressure. They not no bona fide strong liars. He's just weak liars. Cause she lying right now. Check her out. She an amateur.
In the vestibule, like outside of the class. Me and Judge Reeves were having a conversation. She had worked at a law firm I worked at back in 1996. We're getting way far.
Okay, I swear this is the last time I'm gonna intervene. But one thing about a liar, when they trying to tell a lie, they can't stop. They start telling too much. Like she telling too much. She answering questions. She ain't nobody even asking her all this shit. Like for real.
I don't mind her explaining her answers, but I literally just asked if they met at that conference.
She's explaining how she met Mr. Wade, which was exactly the question asked by Ms. Merchant. These answers are more than appropriate.
Ms. Merchant, if you want more concise answers, perhaps you could lead the witness.
I will. Thank you, Judge. Isn't it true that you met Mr. Wade in October 2019 at Judge's conference?
We haven't gotten to the point where Ms. Willis should be treated hostile.
I think we
I very much want to be here, so I'm not a hostile witness. I very much want to be
It's not so much that you're hostile, Ms. Willis, and you have that first witness. Your interests are opposed to Ms. Merchant's.
Thank you. Interests are contrary to democracy, Your Honor, not to mine. Judge,
I'm sorry. I think things moving. Ms. Merchant, next question.
Okay, so we've confirmed when you met. After that, isn't it true? No, I need to explain this, and I think I get to explain my answers. When I met him, Judge Reeves introduced us. He handed me his business card. I'm unsure if I handed him my business card, but we exchanged information. He said, if you ever need any help, give me a call. And he walked to the parking lot. So after that, you started dating shortly thereafter, correct? A lie. That's one of your lies. Do you know Robin Yuri? I know her as Robin Bryant. I knew her. So Robin did not go to my college. She went to the college of. I went to Howard University. She went to Morgan State. I met her through some people I knew. In college, we hung out a bit, not much because she was in Baltimore and I was in Washington, D.C. But we hung out a bit. After college, I lost contact with her. I probably didn't see Robin again until maybe.
You notice she asked, "Did you know her?" She could have just said, "Yeah, yeah, I know her." Next question. This is wild.
7 or 8 years ago, a chance meeting here in Atlanta, but we did not have a consistent relationship from when I left college and came to Emory Law School here in Atlanta. But 8 to 10 years ago, just by happenstance, I ran into her. So it was in Atlanta. You have been friends with Robin for 30-something years. Did you hear my answer, man? Yes. And I'm asking if you've been friends with her for 30-something years. I've known her for 30-something years. We certainly hung out and partied together in college. She was from the D.C. area. She would come home and party together. Wasn't close, but she was certainly in the girlfriends that partied together. And then, like I said, I ran into her about
Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. Earlier today, her girlfriend testified that they was living together and they was roommates when she went to the fair with the other guy, with this guy back here. I got him lying back here. He lying back here. Not lying. He's telling lies back here. But that's why they asking her this. Or she said they asked, "Did you know her?" She said, and then she went telling how long she knew her. So then they became roommates. So what she's establishing is, if you had a roommate that you was living with that you have knew all that time, they would know whether or not you had a boyfriend if y'all lived together. If y'all known each other since college. That's a fact. She's slow. She don't even realize what a lady leading her.
10 years ago in Atlanta, Georgia.
I got something to tell you guys. Guess what? It's a app called Vigo Live.
So we didn't talk throughout that time period. I didn't see her. I didn't even know where she was. When I ran into her, I was surprised she was in Atlanta. And so, yes, I have known her probably since 1990, 1991, but we have not maintained a consistent relationship that whole time.
For the last 10 years or 5, whatever you'd like to classify it as. Have you been friends with her?
I have not spoken to Robin in over a year. I certainly do not consider her a friend now. I think that she, there's a saying, no good deed goes unpunished, and I think that she betrayed our friendship.
So let's narrow it down in a timeline now. So my questions are going to be from.
Now, mind you, her office, it's like so many. They say it's several people that work directly up under her that's whistleblowing on her that don't like her. And his partner is turning on him and giving him up. Do you know they got to be up to some shenanigans for that many people that deal with them to be throwing them under the bus? Man, pay attention. Keep your head on the swivel around here.
Period of 2019 until she no longer was employed for you. The last time you all talked. So all of my next questions are just focused on that time frame, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Up until she left your office.
Yes, ma'am.
During 2019, you all were friends, correct?
Yes, we knew each other in 2019.
During 2020, you all were friends, correct?
Yes, we were friends during that time period.
During 2021, you all were friends, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And such good friends that when you needed a place to stay, you asked her if you could take over her lease.
That's a lie.
You did not move into her apartment or her condo?
That's not the way you characterize it. Is wrong.
I asked if you could take over her lease.
I did not ask if I could take over her lease.
Did you move into her apartment?
I moved into her condo in April of 21. The circumstances around that were that Robin met her husband. They wanted to move into another and separate place. She wanted to get rid of her condo. My father was living with me at the house. Because of this case and because of my stance on gangs, my life was being threatened regularly. My father urged me to leave our home. At the same time, as luck would have it, Robin wanted to give up her lease because she wanted to move in with this new man she met, who eventually became her husband. And so, as life circumstances work, my dad was begging me to leave the house. He was afraid for me, afraid for his grandchildren. She wanted someone to take over her lease so that she didn't.
See, that's where she blew me. When she went to talking about, she already talking too much. Now she talking about she's being threatened by gangs. That's why y'all gotta say free thugger, free YSL. Look at that DA down there. Look at that DA. How can anybody get justice in there? Look at how she talking. She making every excuse in the book, and she already caught. She looks like a guilty criminal. I'm telling you, y'all ain't. It's a long way to go. Y'all ain't even seen her start sweating yet. She finna start sweating.
Have to pay a fee or get abandoned. And so I don't remember when, but probably March or April of 21, I moved in and take over her lease.
And did you pay her or did you pay the leasing agent?
No, I don't even know who the leasing agent was. I paid her.
You paid her. Did you pay her cash or did you use a card?
There were some times that I would give her cash, but mostly I paid her via Cash App. That would be the most convenient thing.
So I would not only give her rent, but then like when the utilities would come in, whatever the utility was, she might be like, I need $70, I need $100, whatever it was. And we never had a problem with money. Whatever she told me it was, I never asked to see a bill. I never questioned her. I just gave it to her. What percentage would you say you paid cash?
And if anybody ever get in my comments talking about why that these people is black people, and I'm highlighting what they do, because every brother ain't a brother because of their skin color. They doing wrong, and and the wrong they doing hurts our people. And then they get up and they be snobby and uppity and throwing Rico around and doing all kind of stuff. And when they get caught like this, what is somebody supposed to say? What you thought? What you thought was gonna happen? You know, this is the American way. Let's continue.
Cash out. Oh, the vast majority is cash out. I don't know what percentage, I'm not gonna guess that, but the vast majority is cash out. But there would be times she would say, this bill came in at $70, give me $70. Did you have a monthly rent amount that you paid her? I can't remember. It was $1,400, $1,500. I can't remember what it was, and it would vary, which I don't understand to this day. But like I said, I never questioned her. Whatever she said it was, that's what I paid. I roughly moved out in February, either late January or early February of 22. Of 22. Yeah. February 2022 is that what you said? January, February of 22. I believe it is January, but I paid her half the rent February of 22 is what I remember. And because I was offering to pay the whole rent, even though I didn't live there, I didn't think it was right. And I ended up just paying her half the rent. So that's after you moved out. You said you made her half. Okay. And the time that you said you had to move out of your house because you were scared, did your dad stay there at your house? My father was concerned. Yes, we were both concerned. Okay. But he remained there. My father was 80 years old. He would have been 79. He was scared to death of COVID. You have to go back to when this was. My father's an older man. I wanted him to move out. We had some discussions about him moving out, and what he decided was the risk of COVID.
She asked you one question. One question. And you just keep digging a hole for yourself. I don't know how you had to get your job as DA on affirmative action. She hitting you with basic stuff. She asked you one question. You can't never just say yes or no. You just keep giving them more evidence, just keep digging it deeper and talking about your daddy and gangs and everything else. They taking her down a dark road to where she's showing that she can't be trusted on nothing. Y'all ever have a person that a lie about something they ain't got no business lying about, and then you just know they're a liar? That's how they playing. They asking her stuff they already know the answer to.
Was more dangerous than the risk of the people that were threatening. Typical man, more worried about his daughter and his grandchildren and his own safety. You get to meet him, and you'll understand he doesn't scare too easily. So his grandkids were living in the house as well at that time? Well, I don't know how old your children are, but when you have adult children, they leave and they come back. They leave and they come back. So there have been periods of time that they're there, they come, they do whatever they want to do. Children do what children do. As long as their mother has a house, they'll come to it. Unfortunately, now the threats because of this case have gotten so extreme. I just pay a mortgage and no one lives there. And that's what I was going to ask you. So when you moved out in, I think you said April 2021, you left your dad and your two kids at the house? My dad and my two kids were not at the house. They were not? Okay, so they didn't still live at your house? My youngest daughter certainly did not live there. My oldest daughter would come back and forth. I can't say month for month when she was there or when she was not there. I know that she has been there post me moving out.
Fanny, they just asking you was you taking care of your kids. You mean to tell me you wasn't taking care of your kids? You don't know where your kids was being? You letting this question stop you? The normal parent, like, yeah, my kids was with me. What they was doing? They was going to school and they was doing what they supposed to do. What was you doing? I was going to work. That's all you need to know. This is a trip.
Time, no one is at my house. So at some point after you moved out for the safety reasons, at least one of your children did come back to the
Can
house.
we get to the relationship?
Sure. Yes. So, let's see, we were back at 2021. So you were still friends with Miss Yeardy then. Were you also friends with Mr. Bradley? I've never been friends with Mr. Bradley. You've never been friends with Mr. Bradley? No, I don't consider us to be friends. I don't dislike Mr. Bradley, but I don't consider us to be friends. Is he someone that you would have on your phone and you would message with? I might have text messaged him. Okay. Would you text message him and Mr. Wade on the same conversations? I don't recall doing that, but if it happened, it wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so that wouldn't surprise you, the three of you. Okay. How frequently would you think that the three of you would have texted? I wouldn't think very often, but you're asking me to recall. I don't even know what time period you're asking me to recall, but I'm not going to speak to that because I just really don't know the answer to that. So I don't want to speculate as to how often that would happen. But it's not out of my practice to text two people on one text message. So if you told me that happened and showed it to me, it wouldn't surprise me, although I have no recollection of it. But there would be some record of it in your phone, or the phone records would have some record of those texts. Perhaps. Talk about, you said that sometimes you paid Miss Yeardy cash. When you went on.
This is a lawyer, right? Did y'all just see what happened? She said, you don't remember? She said, no. So she said, if something was in your phone records, would that surprise you? She said, no. So it something like that may perhaps be in your phone records. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It may be in my phone records. That's enough to get a warrant for a phone record if they want to impeach you on some other shit. This is a lawyer. Y'all just seen that. She said, is there anything that could confirm that may be in your phone? She said, perhaps it may be. I don't know. Okay. She said she don't know, so this is sculpatory. Let's open the phone up. Let's look at her messages from the last several years.
Vacation with Mr. Wade. Let's just go one by one. Let's start with the first one. What's the first time you went on vacation with Mr. Wade? I think the first time we went on vacation was around.
Excuse me, because I'm gonna be moving around too and coming back when I'm in the same room doing other stuff. But I'm listening to it at the same time because this is long and I want us to go through all of this little section right here. If you stick around to the end.
April of 22, and it's a vacation is a stretch, but I'm trying to be comprehensive. I recall April of 22. His birthday is March the 18th. So that would have been his 49th birthday. I took him to Tennessee for the day. I think we went to a museum. I think we might have stayed the night. I'm not sure, but I mean, Tennessee's kind of hard to call a vacation, but I just am trying to be inclusive. And like I said, I know it wasn't more than a day. Against the night. I think that we did. That's what I'm telling you. I think that there's a possibility that we stayed that night in April of 22. Who paid for the hotel? I think I did. It was his birthday. And would you have used a credit card? Probably, maybe a debit. And when did you start dating? When I started dating Mr. Wade, it was.
I gotta say something on this. Who wouldn't remember going to Tennessee, staying with their lover, and it was just like last year? You won't remember that? I don't know whether we went to Tennessee or not, but you know his birthday, you know what age he turned when you took him there, you know you paid everything, but I don't know if we stayed the night. Or maybe we stayed the night. Oh yeah, we stayed the night. Oh yeah, I'm sure we stayed the night. This is crazy.
Right around then, that April 2020? 22. Yeah, 2022. It was around there. I don't know, like, you know, it's not like when you're in grade school and you send a little letter and it says, will you be my girlfriend, and you check it. I don't know the day that we started seeing each other, but it was early 22 is my recollection. Okay, early 22. And you all went to Florida on vacation as well? I don't recall going to Florida on vacation with him. You never went to Florida?
Please, if y'all don't do nothing else, listen to this part because I might cut it short. I just want y'all to hear this part. The lady just asked her point blank, did you go to Florida at this particular time? Look what she said.
When we went to get on the cruise ship, we went to Miami. Okay, that's the only time you went to Florida with him? I think we went to Miami and spent the night. That's my recollection. Okay. I think we spent one night so that we wouldn't miss the ship. That's my recollection. I paid for that hotel.
Let me bag this up. When she asked her, did she go to Florida?
As to how often that would happen. But it's not out of my practice to text two people in one text message. So if you told me that happened and showed it to me, it wouldn't surprise me, although I have no recollection of it. But there would be some record of it in your phone, or the phone records would have some record of those texts. Perhaps. Talk about, you know, you said that sometimes you pay Miss Yuri cash. When you went on vacation with Mr. Wade, let's just go one by one. Let's start with the first one. What's the first time you went on vacation with Mr. Wade? I think the first time we went on vacation was around April of 22, and it's a vacation is a stretch, but I'm trying to be comprehensive. I recall April of 22. His birthday is March the 18th. So that would have been his 49th birthday. I took him to like Tennessee for the day. I think we went to a museum. I think we might have stayed the night. I'm not sure, but I mean, Tennessee's kind of hard to call a vacation, but I just am trying to be inclusive. And it, like I said, I don't think, I know it wasn't more than a day. Chicken for the night. I think that we did. That's what I'm telling you. I think that there's a possibility that we stayed that night in April of 22. Who paid for the hotel? I think I did. It was his birthday.
You know you got here.
And would you have used a credit card? Probably, maybe a debit.
Hey, she said she remember paying for the room and everything else. Hold on.
When I started it.
She said she paid for the room and everything else, but she don't remember if she got none or not. That was just last year. Fanny, you ain't that wild, is you? You denying stuff that you were supposed to just admit to, since you are already lovers. You just lying for no reason. At this point, they just showing how much of a liar you is. I don't remember if we did this, but his birthday was this, and he was turning 49, so I took him in and I paid for
Right
everything.
around then. April 2020? 22. Yeah, 2022. So around there. I don't know, like, you know, it's not like when you're in grade school and you send a little letter and it says, will you be my girlfriend, and you check it. I don't know the day that we started seeing each other, but it was early 22 is my recollection. Okay, early 22. And you all went to Florida on vacation as well? I don't recall going to Florida on vacation. You never went to Florida? When we went to get on the cruise ship, we went to Miami. Okay, that's the only time you went to Florida with him? I think we went to Miami and spent the night. That's my recollection. Okay. I think we spent one night so that we wouldn't miss the ship. That's my recollection of our paid for that hotel. In Miami? I don't remember that. And how'd you get to Miami? We would have flown. And we've done that, so that I'm clear. We've done that twice. I think one time we stayed, and I honestly can't tell you, did we stay when the ship left, or did we stay when the ship came back? I also can't tell you, so there's 2 cruises out of Miami. There's one that's in that October time period that was with his mom, and then there was another that was a New Year's Eve trip. I know I paid for the New Year's Eve trip because the tickets were $697 each, and I thought this is ridiculous that the tickets are $700 to go to Miami, but when you travel during New Year's Eve, you know, they get you. So let's just back up and talk about the first time that you went to Florida with Mr. Wade. That was the time that you said you stayed in Miami at the hotel the first night. That's the time I told you I am not sure. So I'm not sure of two things. So I want to make sure that my testimony is clear. I'm not sure if we stayed in Miami on the October trip. I'm not sure if we stayed in Miami on the December trip. I just can't remember that. And I also don't remember, so that the record is clear, I don't remember if the necessity was as we got on the ship or we got off the ship. But I do remember there was a night spent in Miami because either whatever, I don't remember. But I think that there was a night spent in Miami. That cruise is the one that you took in October, right? Ma'am, if you have something to refresh my recollection, I'm intentionally trying to not be difficult with you, but I don't want to make up something. Right? I know that on one of those two trips, I stayed in Miami. I am not sure right now. You're asking me about. Oh, I'm sorry, you misunderstood. I was not asking you which night you stayed in Miami. I'm asking if you took a cruise in October 2022 with Mr. Wade. Yes, and his mom. And his mother. That's what I was asking. Yes. Is that the first time you met his mother? Yes. It was on that cruise, and that was Royal Caribbean, I believe. I honestly don't remember what ship. I know we're taking two cruises. I don't know what the ships were. But he paid for the flight and the cruise on Royal Caribbean that time. So yes, he paid. He is the original one that does it. He has something called Mr. Wade is a world traveler. I'm not as versed as him. He's been to 6 of the 7 continents. And so he has both a personal travel agent and he also has a cruise travel agent. I don't know anything about either of those kind of travel agents.
Okay, she telling on Mr. Bird. I reached the mark to where I'm gonna show you that much of it, and then we'll discuss it because it's a lot, and you just ain't gonna want to sit through this. You know what I mean? She goes on and on, but then I'm gonna show you my next video. I'm gonna do when the men question her, and then you're gonna see her hair get frizzled when they question her. Hold on. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you that. Hold on. We gonna go there. We smoking that fanny pack. In case y'all don't know, when somebody say they smoking on something, that mean they let me see which one. That's him. Oh, this might be it. She got rude. She got real rude. She got real rude again. They was yelling. They was playing the race card.
I do know where it came from. It came from my sweat and tears. You know,
Oh look, and now she coming unglued. Let me turn it up.
Talk about. You said that sometimes you paid Miss Yurdy cash. When you went on vacation with Mr. Wade, let's just go one by one. Let's start with the first one. What's the first time you went on vacation with Mr. Wade? I think the first time we went on vacation was around April of 22, and it's a vacation is a stretch, but I'm trying to be comprehensive.
Team prior to, I guess, the motion being filed by defendant Roman, who in the prosecution team knew of your personal relationship, and now I'm talking romantic, with Mr. Wade?
So, sir, I am extremely private.
All I ask is who knew. It's not, if the answer is no one knew, that's fine.
No.
I ask you who knew.
Answer it
and then explain as well.
I am very private. When I supervised Mr. Body and Mr. McAfee, they didn't know who I was dating, but I can assure you I was dating somebody. So that I kept something private, that's my private life, is not any mystery to anyone. It's like a woman doesn't have the right to keep her private life private. And I'm speaking on this because there have been all these intimations.
You still haven't answered the question, Ms. Willis.
I'm sorry, what was the question, Your Honor?
Right.
Is there anyone else who knew about it? Then you can explain.
I don't know. I don't think so. I certainly didn't go out telling my business to the world.
Okay, so, the best of your recollection, you didn't inform anyone on the prosecution team that the individual that you had chosen to lead the prosecution team had a personal relationship with you.
So
Is that correct?
That's inaccurate. Your question is inaccurate.
What?
Because you stated that the person I chose, we had a personal relationship. So we had a friendship. We have all these distinguishing factors. Remember, when I chose him in November of 21, first of all, let's get this straight. Mr. Wade was not actually my first choice. That's no insult to him.
Your Honor,
No. It is you, because of the way you phrased the question. You said, when I chose him, I didn't inform people of a personal relationship. We have defined personal as romantic. It is an inaccurate way to state the question.
Then I will certainly restate it so it is very accurate.
Okay, and please do not yell at me.
You hired Mr. Wade for the first time on November 1st of 2021, correct?
November of 2021, yes,
Okay.
sir.
Your testimony is, whether one accepts it or not, your testimony is that at the time you hired Mr. Wade, there had never been a romantic relationship with Mr. Wade before you hired him, correct?
Yes, my testimony is that we were very good friends, but we're talking about the sex, so let's just don't.
No, I'm not talking about, I'm saying romantic relationship doesn't necessarily have to be just sex.
Well,
It can be dating, it can be holding hands, it can be any of those things that one might call romantic. I'm asking you whether or not prior to November 1st of 2021, there was a romantic relationship with Mr. Wade. It's very simple. It's either a yes or a no.
I don't consider my relationship with him to be romantic before that. I'm not a hand holder, so no.
Okay, that's fine. Now, let's move beyond November 1st of 2021, excuse me. If I understand your testimony, there was no romantic relationship with Mr. Wade until early in 2022, whether it be January or February or March, early in 2022, correct?
I would say sometime between February and April. Yes, sir.
All right. Now I'm asking you about that time period when it became romantic.
Yes,
okay?
Sir. Thank you.
Okay. You didn't see the need, if I understand, to tell any of the people on the prosecution team when you had established a romantic relationship with Mr. Wade that the lead prosecutor, that is the man that was basically giving orders to others, was dating or having a romantic relationship with you, correct?
I'm going to object to relevance at this point, Your Honor.
Just relevance. Just to prove or attempting to show that there is an issue on the credibility about the relationship. The failure to have informed anyone on her team that she was having a romantic relationship with the lead prosecutor, I suggest gives rise to that inference. That's the relevance.
The inference that
that they were concealing this because it was not as it's been characterized to the court, and that in fact it started earlier than what they say.
all right, overruled. Mr. Sadon.
I just want to make sure that we're clear. From at least 2020, me and Mr. Wade were friends. At least that time period.
Okay, I'm not talking
Okay,
about.
so no. I want to be clear because my credibility is being evaluated here, right? We were friends. We hung out prior to November of 2021. In November of 2021, I hired him. I do not consider our relationship to have become romantic until early of 2022. Because I don't know a date and time, I'm saying sometime between February and April of 2022, and very early April of 2022, because I know that trip that I discussed with you was like the first week of 2022, that the relationship had become romantic. I hope that answered your question, but I can't have it where, we're saying something differently.
All right, so you've established the timeline as you put it. The question originally was, at that time, did you tell any other prosecutors?
I never tell people at work who I'm dating.
All right, Mr. Sadon.
Okay. Did you take any trips to D.C. with Mr. Wade?
Never.
Did you take, okay, so you have no, what I would call personal trips or business trips to DC with Mr. Wade?
I never went to DC with Mr. Wade, personal, business, otherwise, never.
Okay, so
I've never been in the District of Columbia with Mr. Wade or Maryland, Virginia, the DMV as they call it.
as I understand it, to be clear, any trips that you would have taken to see DC
That
would not.
that was a pretty clear answer.
Huh?
That was a pretty clear answer.
No.
She just said no.
Twice.
So do you have a variation or something new to bring up?
I'll ask it and we'll see. Did you take trips to DC that were non-business during the time period that this case or this matter was under investigation?
I'm going to object as to relevance relates to the matter that we're here before Your Honor.
Well, again, the question already asked is take personal or business trips. She said,
But that was with
personal
Mr.
or
Wade.
business.
That was with Mr. Wade. This I asked her alone whether she took.
Okay.
What's the relevance?
And what would be the relevance of that?
Trying to understand whether or not we have the ability to show a personal trip in which Mr. Wade is there at the same time. I understand her answer. Okay, I understand her answer, but we have documents, we have records that.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the documents that they've.
Well, this could be something that's maybe not part of the record yet, but if he has I think there have been other things discussed in this case, and they have evidence that Mr. Wade may have been in DC at the same time. If you want to ask about that exact specific date, Mr. Sadon, you can do that.
We're going to stop there because that's too long. He asked her that question about DC. And then within it's like the same couple of minutes, he was like, couple of seconds, he was like, we have documents. You know what I mean? It was like, they already get, this is finna go on and on. She done gave him access to her phone. She told him, so if there may be something in your phone like this, perhaps that's enough to get a warrant. She said it may be something in there. We got a right to discovery. Let's look in there. So this is just an update on the case. I'm gonna keep looking at it, whatever. I just don't want to bore y'all and make it take too long. I'm gonna get the good parts out because I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna see some other takes on it. But this what's up going on with it so far. So peace. Keep your head on the swivel. This is Detroit's HPTV saying out. Like, share, and subscribe.